Labor Day weekend to y'all from myself and the crew at Games We Never Play. This week we're shining a spotlight on a few games that break us out of our usual dungeon crawls.
An old school alternative band dipping their toes into 5e.
And some Kickstarter goodness for one and all.
Blythe, how the hell is it September already?
I don't know, Michael, but I am starting to think that Bill and Ted might have messed with the space-time continuum.
I think you might be onto something there.
To kick off this week, let's talk about the Hypertellurians. Creator Motocross has created a very cool, very stylish, vaguely European, and charmingly retro spin on the sci-fi RPG. What's more is he has recently released an updated version for us to peruse. In the game, the players portray the Hypertellurians, adventurers in what is known as the Ultracosm, decked out in retro science fantasy style. Take control of one of these 6 archetypes and choose or create a unique concept by layering on fun, invented, and story-driving powers. You can pick it up at Drive-Thru RPG or directly through the links on his site. For fans of H.G. Wells, heavy metal, and or Space 1889, this is definitely worth checking out.
One of the great things about the TTRPG hobby at this point in its history is that there are so many different kinds of stories you can tell in virtually any genre you can imagine. So, for those of you who might be looking for a change of pace at your table, we would like to put BFF, Best Friends Forever, on your radar. BFF is a game where you and up to 5 other players take on the roles of a group of tween girls hanging out, having adventures, and exploring how their friendships change and grow. It's definitely not your usual D20 system, and the boxed game comes with a bunch of cool accessories, unique play dynamics, and a general sense of fun that we've not seen in anything like this for, well, quite a while. It was nominated for 5 ENnie Awards this year, and this is a super cool addition to anybody's game shelf, but it's always nice to see games that cater to different demographics than your average gamer. Oh, and you can play it on Roll20.
Fans of the GWNP podcast might remember a few months back when Alan Barr, one of the chief creative forces behind Gallant Knight Games, ran his Tiny Supers game for us. We like Alan's work and we want to give him a bit of a boost today by letting you know that he's got a new Kickstarter. For Coin and Blood, 2nd edition brings you the chance to tell stories about the bad guys that most other adventurers would spend their campaigns fighting. What's changed in the 2nd edition? Well, besides improved game mechanics, you also get a slew of new classes, unique artifacts and gear, and a fleshed out world to run your dark adventures in. And as of filming this, the team at Gallant Knight has already tripled their original goal.
So, this one's gonna date me a bit, but what the heck. The band The Dead Milkmen were my first experience with alternative music, and they will always have a special place in my heart. So, it's with a mixture of joy and confusion that I bring you the news that they, along with publisher Severed Books, are releasing a 5e compatible adventure. Lost Tomb of the Bitchin' Chimera promises to be a unique beast, to say the least. And if you're looking for something way off the beaten path for your D&D group, I don't know that you could do much better. So besides the link to the pertinent resources for the module itself, we're also going to include a link to the group's hit song, Bitchin' Camaro, just for a little bit more context. Okay, who had classic punk band releases Dungeons & Dragons adventure on their Apocalypse Bingo card?
Thank you for joining us for another week of Table Topical. We're super grateful for your viewership and we want to give you the content that you crave. If you have an upcoming release, news, or you're a creator who wants to do an interview, well then let us know. We're on all the socials and there's an email in the description below.
You can find us on social media too, of course, GWNP_pod on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Games We Never Play on Facebook. Also, don't forget our Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/GWNP, and of course, you can find all the older episodes of Table Topical right here on YouTube.
I've been Blythe Kala. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blythe Kala93. You can also find me on YouTube doing my own thing at Blythe Kala or Blythe Kala93 or Blythe Kala's Star Wars, or you can see me cry about The Last of Us 2. Whatever you really want to see. I don't know. I probably got it.
I'm Michael Robert Holmes. You can find me on Twitter at MRH_3E and on Instagram at Michael R. Holmes.
This has been Table Topical. Party on, dudes!
And be excellent to each other.